Hello, I'm Carlos Huerta, and this is a second video. I'm gonna try to be brief, as brief as possible. I hope you had a chance to see the first video that I recorded on Padlet with some suggestions. In the previous video, I suggested that for every phase of the module, you create one Padlet. As you can see here, Phase 1, personal introductions. You can ask students that not only do they introduce themselves, but they also add some information about what hobbies they have, the area where they live, stuff like that. And so the only thing you're gonna do is, in order for them to come to this Padlet, is you're gonna send them the link, right? And then that's going to allow them to add to this wall. This is phase 2, the learning together phase, where you ask them to react to a reading or a video. Phase 3, the teams with the team members. I'll get to how to create the team members in this video in a couple minutes. Phase 4, where students share their projects after working together in teams for 2 or 3 weeks, and then another Padlet for final reflections, both from the students and as well as the instructors. Okay, so one of the things very important that I suggest you tell your students to do is, first of all the students need to create a free Padlet account. So with their names, like for example, this student, Olivia Garcia, this student, Caterina Gaday. If a student does not create a Padlet account, it's gonna show like this, anonymous. So this student does not have a Padlet account. This student received the link and went on to add his information, but it remains as anonymous. And we don't like that. We want to know, particularly for the comment sections, we want to know who is commenting and not have anonymous. And perhaps there might be more than one student that remained as anonymous because you, like this, for example, Oscar Daniel didn't create a Padlet account, and that is why he shows as anonymous. So you want to make sure all your students create a Padlet account before they start posting. Otherwise, they're gonna show as anonymous. And again, in the comment sections, we don't know who this person said this, right? So, very important. Also, ask your students, if you decide to use Google Docs and have a share Google folder with them, like I showed you in the previous video. Also make sure your students, all of them, have a Gmail account, or at least an email. There are some emails that are not necessarily that do not end in Gmail, but they are institutional, that allow students to use Gmail applications. But anyways, you want to make sure students have also a Gmail account if you're gonna do that. For the phase 1, I suggested you call it as is, but pay attention to the dates. For the introductions phase, I suggest that you leave this wall active 2 weeks, from October the 4th through October the 17th, and not just 1 week. because the first week students are kind of getting familiar with what they're gonna be doing, blah blah blah. So it might take them longer than 1 week to populate this Padlet. Now, attention, phase 2 is gonna run parallel, or it's gonna overlap with the second week of the personal introductions phase. So week 2 is gonna go from, what is it, October, so the first 2 weeks are October the 4th through the 17th. The second week is October the 11th through the 17th. So phase 2, that's why I have October 11th through the 17th. So during week 2, students can still continue to come here and respond to other students' participations, but at the same time during week 2, they have to respond and react to your reading. And this is all learning together, both classes learning together. When it comes to phase 3, again, if you are doing the COIL module for 5 weeks, this phase where students are already broken into teams, they will work for this duration, 2 weeks, or this duration, 3 weeks. If the whole module lasts 5 weeks, this would be the dates. If the whole module lasts 6 weeks, these will be the dates. And like I said, for the teams, you create the teams and topics. Now you can have different topics for projects, or you can have one project be developed or be created by all the teams. Now, if you have one same project for everybody, then there is no need to put here what they're going to be doing, right? Because perhaps you can, in this section, write what all the teams are going to be doing, one same project. But if you have different projects, previous to this moment, previous to October 18th, you can give them a menu of 3, 4, 5 different projects, and once you created the teams, you can give them the menu of projects, and they can choose from one project. Now, or another way of doing it is you create the teams, and then you assign the projects without asking them what project they want to develop. Now, in terms of how to create the teams, like I said in the previous video, try to make sure you keep at least in each of the teams 2 students from the same class. So if there is one student only, then that one student might feel isolated. So try to keep as much as possible 2 students per class in each team, and create as many teams as you consider proper. Another thing I was gonna say regarding teams, just try to mix them up, and you create them. Don't let them choose who to work with. Just mix them up, men, women. The only comment I have is if you have Muslim female students, you might want to consider only that one student work with female students in her team, just if the student doesn't feel comfortable working with men. But that would be the only exception. I'm already almost wrapping up this video. I just want to make sure I cover everything I wanted to say in this video. Oh, one of the things is personalize every Padlet address, like in this one here. It ends in personal introductions. If you look at this Padlet here, ends in a combination of letters and numbers that just by looking at the address doesn't really tell you what this Padlet is about. And the way to personalize this is just go here to settings, and then here under address you put, as you know, you're gonna get something like this, but instead of this combination of letters and numbers, you delete that and put personal introductions. So if you look at my Padlets here, they are all personalized in terms of how the web addresses end. Personal introductions, learning together, teams, share projects, student reflections. So that way I know, just by looking at the address, what the Padlet is about. So that's another important thing to do. Also, you probably have already figured it out, but here in settings you can personalize what you want the Padlet to be called, as well as the description, the icon, the wallpaper, what colors. I would recommend that you activate this attribution tool. Also, show the newest posts last, so that it has a sort of a chronological order. You see the first post in the above, and the last post last as you scroll down. I recommend also for all of them you activate the comment section so that students can comment on other students. I recommend also that at least for this reactions section you activate the love or the like, you activate the heart so the students can like a post. For this one, require approval I will leave as off, but this one activated filter profanity, and that's it. So I think I've covered most of what I wanted to say in this video. One last thing, and that doesn't have to do with Padlet or Gmail, is there's been a couple of pairs of instructors who have agreed to record a 5-minute video, both of them on Zoom, record both of them addressing their students in both of their classes, explaining what they're going to be going through, briefly talking about the COIL module and the benefits of doing it, briefly describing the phases of the module. And that you can do, but it does not is not required, but it's actually not a bad idea for students to have that video where they see both teachers already sort of teaching by example, right? Working together and creating a project, which for the teachers was the COIL module, and for the students it's gonna be the experiencing the module per se. Okay, so that was it. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, send me an email. This is our last week for the planning. Next week we're starting implementing the module. Invite me to your virtual meetings. I am flexible, so I can adapt to your schedule, and we can figure it out as well if I have some activity already arranged. But yeah, do not forget to populate the PowerPoint presentation that I sent you. There were some blank slides that I wanted you to populate. Don't forget about that. And yeah, reach out to me. I'm here to help you. So have a good day.